Hi everybody, Metso here, ready for another episode of Retro Alcove Titanic Adventure Out of Time. Today we are going to be going through more of our mission and our journey, to stop the Titanic from sinking, I think. We're in the beginning, you are in World War II and an explosion happens and you're suddenly on the Titanic and you're got like a secret mission. We do have a sort of decrypting device in our hotel. I don't know what to use that for just yet. Our hotel, our cabin. But we'll see. And we just had a secret conversation with a guy. And now let's walk around the place to kind of check the place out. To you guys. It's fine. I don't need to speak to... I know we still have those binoculars that we have not found. And I'm assuming something needs to be triggered to find it. But I don't know what yet. There's that guy. I don't really feel like I need to talk to him right now, but we need to get into the wireless room. And so I just want to see what happens when he comes over. I can't remember what the trigger does.
Sorry, the wireless room's off limits to passengers. Yes, though the only thing to watch is the wireless room. They just keep bringing up more messages. Wireless telegraphy is all the rage these days. Not tonight, I'm afraid. I've got an uneasy feeling. Something seems wrong. Yes, very calm.
Too calm.
We've received some ice reports. Shouldn't be a problem, though. Not on the Titanic.
That's sad.
Not tonight, I'm afraid. I've got an uneasy feeling. Something seems wrong. Drink? I don't. And don't care for those who do.
Yes,
Excuse
sir.
me, would you? I must return to my watch. Good night.
Well then. That explains that.
Have you seen Georgia?
Oh gosh.
Don't care for me much, do you?
I just don't know you.
There's much you don't know. Let's discuss it over a drink. Shall we, then?
I feel like I'll get
Much
more
better.
info this way.
Bartender, a whiskey and soda. Yes, much better indeed. Now, Georgia, afraid of me? Well, that would be a reaction at least. We no longer evoke emotion in each other. We're husband and wife in name only. You may have heard I am in financial strait. I've borrowed money from Andrew Conkling, money that he is now demanding I pay back. I've none to give. Poverty should remain the domain of the virtuous. I've no taste for it. To tell you. No, I shall fix things first. And without Georgia. Another drink? Another whiskey for, Hope you don't mind if I do. Now, you, want to know some secrets. Thank you, bartender.
I'm playing my game.
George's diamond necklace. It's a fake. The one on her neck, leastways. I gave the real necklace to Sasha. It's in his cabin for safekeeping. When he gets to New York, he'll sell it, quickly and quietly, for 20% commission. I'll pay off my debts to Conkling, put Georgia away, sail back to England.
What does
free
that
and
mean
clear.
by put her away? Yeah.
She's unstable, as you know, so I'm placing her in a sanatorium.
That's...
An easy thing to do, given her emotional history. The law favors the husband in these matters. She can do nothing about it. God forbid the suffragettes really do win women the vote. They'll never know their place again.
I don't like him. I don't like him at all.
Because I threatened to tell Scotland Yard about his Serbian Aid Society, and because Sasha's a greedy bastard, he'd betray his love for 20%. And Georgia thinks she's outsmarted. No, she's got a fake about her neck and doesn't know. Another? Good night, then. You'll sleep well. The whiskey and the sea are both smooth for a change.
Tell me, do you approve of women who
I
smoke?
don't approve anything that's smoking. Sorry.
If you want to be a bore, I suggest you travel steerage. Good evening.
Will you let me talk to you again?
Tell me,
I didn't mean to press that one.
do you approve of women who smoke? Andrew and I wintered in Cairo. We returned via Paris, where we ran into all sorts of people, including that charming German Colonel Zeitel. He had a great interest in rare books. It will be wonderful to be home. No dust storms, no lepers. Mr. Trask predicts a banner year for me. Trask? A brilliant seer. Brilliant! I consult him about business decisions, and he's never steered me wrong. He instructs me to travel on only 2 ships, the Titanic and the Lusitania.
Lusitania.
You're witty. Most men take their indulgences one at a time. Combine them, like women with tobacco, and they pitch fits. Pity. I must stop our chat here. I've other concerns. My maid, she's left us. Yes, well, good night.
Good night. I got some info from her, just general info though. It's nothing that I feel it's going to help me.
Try to intercept Zeitel's telegrams.
Okay.
Get inside the one. Surely someone on board knows what he's up to. And don't forget the cryptograph in your trunk. It will unscramble the German codes.
I need to get into
Most
the wireless
importantly,
room.
Find the Rubaiyat. Meanwhile, I'll conduct my own investigation. Off with you now. Go.
Okay.
Try to intercept
I already...
Zeitel's...
Okay. Oh, no. Okay, good. I was like, why are you keep playing? Go. No. So I need to get into the wireless room, get those codes, and get them deciphered, and find the Rubaiyat. That's the main thing to get through. Just looking around everywhere I can. I'm so certain there were headphones.
What did I tell you, Shay?
Binoculars.
I knew he'd not come in person.
Hush, Jack, hush. Conklin, he did send you, didn't he?
I told you, it's a trick. I knew Conklin wouldn't come. He sent one of his cronies instead. I'm her brother. And Conklin, because of him, Shayla's had to leave everything and everyone she knows.
Jack, no.
That son of a bitch. She was his maid and all the time violating it.
Hush, Jack. I'll have no more of it. Go on, Jack, say it.
You tell Conklin we have his letter, and he'll not be seeing it till he coughs up a tidy sum, too. 5,000, do you hear? Dollars. Enough to get her started right. And if he moves a hand against us, I'll make sure the newspapers get the letter and print it. So tell Conklin. 5,000. Measured against what he has, it's a bloody bargain.
Meet us here again. At 1 tonight.
$5,000. Then
Well,
he'll get his damn letter. Agreed?
We'll be waiting for you.
Another little cutscene thing. Like, in this shot of her, she's got this big hooded thing on, but she does not have that here.
Passengers aren't allowed on the bridge. Officer Morrow's in no mood to accommodate passengers right now. He's misplaced his binoculars, and he's in a right proper state about it. Off with you now.
Okay, so that just gives me, like, the note, in a sense, that I need to look for the binoculars. Nothing in here, I think. I can punch it! Okay.
Change your mind? Here you go. An old red. Only brand I smoke. Let's hit the cafe. What do you say? Swell. There's a man there named Zeitel, a German. Claims he's a business, but he's got something up the sleeve, all right. I know the type, believe me. Dollars to donuts, he's in some racket. So come with, why don't you? I'll introduce... Hey, Colonel, how you doing? Willie? Like you to meet
A pleasure. Hedlitz and I, we welcome diversion during such an uneventful passage, don't we?
Certainly.
Willi is at the University of Vienna, dissecting children's fable.
Cultural mythology, it's quite interesting. So only a junior professor, I tried to interest Dr. Freud. He's a genius, and I...
Yes, I am sure, quite. On the passenger list, it says you embarked at Cherbourg. Yet I have not seen you with the others. You were there, were you not? I see. You are British. Not so many of you in Titanic's first cabins. These days, most of the rich are Americans. Businessmen like Max. Tell me, why do you go to New York? I'm envious. Unfortunately, my work does not permit me to indulge in the pleasures of the leisure class.
The theory of the leisure class? I have read Professor Hebron. He's quite good.
Quite. Me? Inspecting our embassies. Imperial Germany desires to make a good impression in North America. Willi is continuing on, to the west, to conduct research on Aboriginal custom.
The Indians. They are fascinating.
Yes. However, I place faith in science, not super...
The Colonel was saying this wireless stuff's revolutionizing everything. Sending messages to each other. It's the end of books and newspapers.
Like the Titanic, a technological triumph. Here we dined in comfort while racing along at 20 knots. It's still tied to the outside world by the wireless.
That reminds me, Colonel Seitel, when I go to send you a telegram, they told me it was to be There are too many messages. The passengers...
I am sure our guests do not care to hear a detailed discussion of your encounter with telegraphy. Now, if you will excuse me...
Please, excuse us.
Won't you call on us tomorrow? Here, in the cafe. The Linzer Tort's quite
Sure.
passable for a British ship. Stop by. Willi and I welcome it most heartily.
Yes, most heartily.
And before I leave, you must allow me to give you some advice. But do not wander the ship. It is not good, I think, on a ship as big as the Titanic. Good night, friends.
Good night.
See? What did I tell you? What did I say? Them too. Up to something, I'd say. The brainy kid gives me the creeps. What a grind. He should hang out with that little blonde. She's a looker, I tell you. Come on, let's hit the smoking room. What do you say? Great. Go on up. I gotta see a man about a horse. I'll meet you in a few. Goodbye.
Okay, so now I gotta get to the smoking room. Where is the smoking room? Okay, that's the boat deck. Aft grand staircase upstairs. So I just need to go upstairs. Okay. Which I was just in here not long ago. Interesting. Just looking at the wall.
Please leave me.
Oh, okay. There's our bud, whatever his name
How
is.
you doing? Buick fleeced you too? You know, you're letting me do all the talking. If you don't mind me asking, just why are you headed to New York? Guess we all got our secrets, don't we? See you around. Good night.
So you invited me to the smoking room to leave me?
Care for a blackjack?
Okay, no.
Bonsoir.
I'm trying to remember where everyone was.
If you want to be a bore, I suggest you travel steerage. Good evening.
Is it just every time right away?
Yes? Tell me, do you approve of women who smoke?
Alright, so...
I must stop our chat here.
Okay.
Yes.
It's just these ones. Ah,
May I be of assistance?
I need to find a person.
The purser. His office is on C deck,
Okay, so
just
I need
off
to
the
see
forward grand stairs. The elevator, or lift as we call it, has an attendant who conducts... Very good. We of the White... Good.
Okay, so I need to find the purser again, which is just literally right here. Or the other side. What's up, dude?
Yes, can I help you?
I require some
I can
assistance.
check valuables, store cargo, list passengers,
Yes.
etc. Have you a name? If you do, I can tell you their cabin number.
Conkling.
Mr. Conkling is in cabin B59.
B59.
I live
Thank
to
you.
serve. Glad to be of good night.
Alright, so B deck. Start here. G6. 60. Well, that's a really big jump. G5, 59.
Come in. I'd hoped to meet you earlier. However, my wife and I were calling on the Astors. Madeline's pregnant. Beatrix was thrilled. We have no children. I see. It's a ransom. May I present Mrs. Conkling?
You should pitch the ungrateful girl overboard. Your clothes, French cut. Quite fetching. I forgot to tell you when we first met.
Beatrix is on her way to California. She's got a new project in... Where is it, dear?
A cow town, someplace called Los Angeles. I'm doing up a little resort there. It's called the Beverly Hills Hotel. So, where is the Irish tart? Dreaming of her newfound riches?
We were just talking about that, darling.
My husband and myself extended every courtesy, showed every kindness to Shayla. We've no children. Shayla became quite dear to us. So her theft hurt us all the more for the trust we placed in her. Don't fail us. Now, excuse me. I must retire. I have a frightful headache. It was a pleasure. Good night.
She's not sure.
My wife felt strongly about Shayla. As I've told you, we've no children of our own. Look, you must get that letter. Don't wait until tomorrow. See if you can speak to Shayla directly, without her brother. She's in the third-class cabins forward, on F deck, number 59. Good night. I'll speak to you tomorrow.
Now I need to go to F59. This is where I need to be, huh? Yeah.
Jack, is that you? I'll be right out. I don't want to wake the baby. Oh. But we were meeting later. Where's Jack? Please, I don't want no trouble. I didn't know the letter was so dear. I just wanted to take something, anything that looked valuable. For the baby. It was Jack who read it. Saw it was bad for Mr. Conkling. He said the bit about selling bad steel would ruin him if it was to get out in the papers. Anyway, Jack, he says Mr. Conkling got the letter from an engineer up at the mill. Said the mill's been making bad steel. High in sulfur is what he called it. The steel's no good, and they put it in the Titanic. It'd be a scandal if it got out. That's why Mr. Conkling wants the letter back. But Jack, he says Conkling will have to pay us to get it. $5,000. Huh, Mrs. Conkling's probably behind it. All she cares about is a fine name and pots of cash and a baby. But she won't get Eddie. No, she won't. And if she tries, I'll ruin her. Make her poor as me. My baby, Eddie. He's the only reason I stood them last month, the Conklings. I knew Mr. Conkling weren't going to leave his missus. I was only a parlour maid, but I didn't care. I was happy to have his baby. Him and Mrs. Conkling, I thought they was so kind, until I found out that Mrs. Conkling was going to steal my baby for her own. Once I had it, she would fire me and take it for her. She can't
My
have her
camera
own
just
babies.
went out.
So they used me to get one.
Oh, no.
To get Eddie. When I found out that was their plan, I left. I didn't know the letter was anything. I thought it might hold a pound or two.
Finished the discussion, as you probably saw, with her. All right, guys, so that's going to end it here. Thank you so much for tuning in for the Retro Alcove this week. I will be back with Titanic next week, so keep an eye out for that. And hopefully we'll find those dang binoculars. All right, guys, have a good day. Bye.